Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining this afternoon. My name is Stephen Mitchell and I'm a principal teacher at Windygoul Primary School in East Lothian. I'm looking forward to sharing our Loose Parts journey and the positive impact for our learners. Our aim is to share our learning journey with you, drawing on research that we have been actively involved in and identify some of the benefits of loose parts play and offer support to help get you started on your own journey. Our playground is extensive but pretty empty, and around 4 years ago we had our trim trail taken away. From our observations, we could see that pupils were bored, we had issues with behaviour, and we only really had football taking place outside. As a school, we were looking for a solution to make the playground a fun and engaging place to be in. In 2019, we had the opportunity to apply for an Erasmus funded project. This was a joint application with the East Lothian Play Association, or ELPA. We were chosen as UK representatives with other schools and organisations in Poland, Slovakia and Hungary. The objectives of the project were to increase sustainable thinking by introducing recycled items as resources for children's play or loose parts, to enhance the play environment, quality of play and creativity of pupils, to assist schools to introduce the concept of loose parts to parents and to the community. This quote is taken from the Loose Parts Play Toolkit and summarises the essence of loose parts. Teresa was one of our main colleagues in the project. Loose parts are objects and materials that children can manipulate, move and combine when they play. They are often scrap, natural or recycled materials, making them low cost, easily available, ever-changing, inclusive and friendly to the environment. The research of Simon Nicholson formed the backdrop for a lot of the theory and thinking involved in the project. Nicholson's theories led to the notion that an environment full of loose parts can raise the degree of inventiveness and creativity in children, whilst allowing learning to take place, often unknowingly to the child through play. With its open-ended and unstructured nature, loose parts play offers a wide range of benefits across various domains of child development. Physically, it fosters gross and fine motor skills as children manipulate a diverse range of objects. The freedom and creativity associated with loose parts play contribute to heightened enjoyment and fun, promoting a positive attitude towards the physical activity. Also, this form of play is a catalyst for robust mental health and well-being, stimulating imagination and problem-solving skills. Socially, it encourages collaboration, communication, and teamwork, nurturing interpersonal relationships. Cognitively, the exploration of varied materials enhances cognitive abilities, including critical thinking and adaptability. The project involved our whole school community being on board and participating with loose parts play, from teachers to support staff and parents and carers. On the very first day of the project, ELPA came into school and led play sessions with staff as part of our in-service day. This provided opportunities for staff to play and explore the social benefits. There were then follow-up sessions for the duration of the project. These sessions were used to pilot a training guide that was being produced and is available to use with your own staff on the project website that I will share at the end. We also had staff working parties to support the development. We had to train the staff first to get them thinking about loose parts before we were ready to introduce it to the school environment. We used tweets to hook learners and our community and to tease what was to come with loose parts. The tweets described the benefits of loose parts and how it fitted in with our school values, which are responsible, positive, respectful, and included, with the hashtag Windygoul Plays. COVID obviously had an impact on the project, but we were determined to keep the idea of loose parts play going. We regularly shared play at home cards and play challenges through Google Classrooms and encouraged families to share their play through photos and videos. ELPA have a team of play rangers who organise play events across the country. They brought a van full of loose parts to the school and worked with every class across a week to introduce the idea. This opportunity allowed pupils to play freely and open their imaginations. Staff became used to the idea of risky play and were encouraged to take a step back and allow the play to flow without interruption. This can be a challenging concept, but disrupting play can stifle creativity and discourage children from joining in. Interruption is only necessary when agreed rules are broken and the play becomes truly unsafe. All of this was taking place while we were trying to source storage. Many new schools are being built with outdoor storage in mind, but we had to look at other options and settled on used shipping containers. Information needed to be collected beforehand to identify whether planning permission was needed and that their locations were suitable. It is not just a case of buy and deliver. Each council might have their own procedures, so it's best to check. With the storage in place, we were ready to begin collecting and used a leaflet to advertise this. Research played a large part in our journey. Not all of our staff were fully convinced about the benefits of loose parts, and this was echoed at partner schools. Creativity tests were carried out with 3 classes at different stages before introducing loose parts and at the end of the project. The first part involved using the circles to create pictures or doodles within a set time limit. They were then presented with parts of shapes and lines, and they had to add to them to create an image. The research drew only on the sample classes. However, some of our teachers asked for copies and completed them with their classes as well. Although our pupils were noted as being already quite creative after the first test, there was still a noticeable increase in the creativity shown in the final test and was much more noticeable in the partner schools. The SOUP tool was used at regular intervals to make observations of play. SOUP stands for System for Observing Outdoor Play. Its goal is to provide quantitative information on the changes in children's play activities over the course of introducing loose parts into the playground. Levels of activity and broad types of play were measured. Usually, a sketch of the play space is made. This example shows the area around the container in our infant playground. Notes are made on the type of play, level of play, interactions, and resources used in the play. These graphs show the changes in types of play observed in our playground. The left-hand graph shows types of play before loose parts were introduced. The right graph shows the types of play after a year of loose parts. The vertical axis represents the number of pupils involved in the play, and the horizontal axis represents each observation. As you can see, there is an increase in all types of play that were being observed after loose parts were introduced. Particularly noticeable is the increase in imaginary, pretend, creative play, shown as the pink line. Construction play, represented by the light green line. Interestingly, risky play in red has become more frequent, but is being carried out by fewer groups of pupils. There are also no groups of pupils not engaged with play, which is represented by the black line. Cartography is a process of identifying how space works to support and encourage play. Our staff worked collaboratively to draw a detailed map of the playground, including as many nooks and crannies as they could remember, before identifying 3 areas that have special importance to them. Stories were then shared about these areas and the types of play that had been observed. Post-it notes were used to write these down and were stuck on the relevant area of the map. This is a particularly useful way to consider for your staff to try. It identifies where play is taking place, where risky or unsafe play might be an issue, and highlights space that could require development as no play happens at all. The map can be left up in the staff room or a central space where staff can add to it throughout your journey. There are other useful ways to map out play. This is not a Picasso or a nursery pupil's scribbles. This is the journey of a piece of purple material over the course of a break time. Our playground staff were encouraged to choose a loose part and follow it around. During this journey, it was a cape, a sail, a blanket, and a shelter. And looking at the path it took, it was not left alone. This piece of fabric was very busy. Ask your playground staff to try this. Although no narrative is given to the picture, you can tell something creative and meaningful to the person holding it has happened. Pupils have been involved in the process from the start. At Windygoul, we use bonus balls to gather pupil voice. One pupil from each class is chosen based on their position in the register, and they gather to share their views and opinions. During one such session, pupils reflected on the Play Ranger sessions. Working in small groups, we then focused on creating a set of rules to stay safe when playing with loose parts. Each group then chose a rule they thought was the most important. Once we had our rules, posters were made and a few of the group were chosen to introduce them at assembly. The posters are displayed in every classroom and on the doors of the containers to refer to when required. The importance of including all stakeholders cannot be underestimated, and parental understanding of our play vision has been an important part of our journey. We held shared play sessions over the course of a month. Each Friday, parents from one of our school clans were invited to play. We opened the containers and let the creativity take over. Those who were a bit shy or reluctant at first were led by their children, and the creative bond they shared was great to see. Every class was given a grab bag containing basic loose parts and were encouraged to collect more by sending requests home. Every Friday is Fun Friday, and all classes stay out for 15 minutes after break to play with loose parts. This gives teachers an opportunity to play with their class and observe the interactions that take place. This still remains a popular part of our week at Windygoul. Part of our improvement plan was dedicated to play. We wanted to create a notion that it is okay to play at any stage and move away from the idea that play is just for early years learning. With this freedom, some teachers began to implement loose parts into their week. Classes were able to sign up for timetabled slots at the container to take their learning experiences to new heights through problem solving and providing relevance to their learning by creating inventions, for example. We now have more teachers opting for a soft start where play is encouraged and linked to social goals. We have a small number of pupils who are on adapted timetables, and opportunities for outdoor learning through play have been offered. Here, a group were asked to use loose parts to create a race car given certain parameters. For example, its dimensions had to be within certain measurements. One of the groups struggles socially and finds group tasks in class challenging. However, during this task, there was no sign of this. Ideas were shared and problems were solved. At one point, the roof would not stay on, and the thought process that went into fixing it was a long, drawn-out discussion, trying different ways to find a solution. Sometimes all it takes is a different context and environment to be successful, which is why our loose parts are always available for classes to access. One of our main issues at the beginning was ensuring our containers were open consistently. This was initially the job of our playground staff. However, designated staff were often moved to cover absences or were absent themselves, and it became increasingly challenging to keep on top of those of whose responsibility it would be. One solution we considered was that it should be the responsibility of our pupils to take ownership for this. This led to the creation of a group called the Loose Parts Leaders, consisting of pupils from P6 and 7. They have been trained on how to open and close the container and how to check whether the loose parts are safe or not. Every lunchtime, they head out before the bell and take everything out of the container. About 10 minutes before the end, they bang pots and pans to signal tidy up time and oversee everything going back into the containers. Over the course of this year, the group has evolved and are now known simply as play leaders. As well as taking responsibility for the loose parts, they now support other types of play throughout the playground. They help to come up with themes each day. For example, on Tuesdays, they play a game that involves writing words on pieces of paper. The word is shown to someone who then acts out or gives clues for others to guess. On Thursdays, they play circle time games and playground games. They're easily recognisable in their high-vis vests and lanyards. They position themselves in different areas of the playground where they're easy to spot. They're also looking out for pupils who are perhaps looking lonely or sitting on one of our buddies. As part of their role, they are presented as and spoke to their parents on curriculum evening. Moving forward, the group is involved in creating a playground charter for the school's eco group and will have a voice in all future developments. So what has our journey had so far? Loose Parts Play has contributed to breaking down barriers and creating a shared space where all children feel valued and included, providing a sense of belonging and respect in the playground. Our parents have a better understanding of the benefits surrounding play, and our parent council have been fundraising to help support our play. There's been a shift in attitude amongst staff with an ethos created where it is okay regardless of age and stage. Are we at the end of our journey? No. Still a lot of scope to develop our playground, particularly the creation of outdoor learning spaces. The positive impact that Loose Parts has had is a solid foundation. Just take it from me, would like to finish with an amazing film that some of our pupils created.
Do you like Loose Parts play? Yes, because it's good and you don't have to spend it like any. Yay! Hi, my name's. My favourite loose part object is probably the tunnels. Hi, I'm Isla, and my favourite loose part item is probably stairs. Hi, I'm Iona. I have a favourite loose part, but I do prefer the tires to see what everyone can create it. Hi, my name's Lucas, and my favourite loose parts object the blue half cylinders. We're here to tell you about loose parts. Loose parts is lots of different material objects that have been donated by to the school for young to play with. What do you think parts play is?
You get to use your imagination to eventually. I think it is a good way to socialise.
I think it's recycled things that you can make fun of.
Use your imagination for it. It's more stuff to. It's good to use imagination. We play just play with bricks or anything we can play. Tire.
It's things be just thrown away or have been left lying around. And young people come along with their imaginations and their creativity and their questioning skills, and they put together games.
Why do you think loose parts play is?
Because it's fun. It's fun and it's for things for the environment. It's fun because it takes different ways.
I think this parts play has been really exciting. I think it's been exciting for the children, and I think it's given us something else to our playtimes.
What effect does loose parts play?
I think it's been incredibly positive because I think it's all given us a chance to play ourselves and for the teachers to play and for all of the staff and for all of you to play and for us to enjoy it together. I particularly like the idea of playing together at the same time.
Bye.
I just saw these P2s in a tube and I just created this pun. They're having a rolling good time.
I think that video sums up everything that we were when we started the project. It's from a pupil. Thank you for time to join us today. Hope you found some inspiration and ideas to begin your own journey. Visit the website to find resources created during the Erasmus. These include a manual, a toolbox full of resources, and a loose parts graph in loose parts. Hopefully you'll find it useful as you either your own loose parts journey or further develop loose parts in your setting. Thank you very much.